Oh, hello.
Hello.
It's Charming Disaster, and this is the Quarantine
Teen
live
Livestream.
stream.
We are so glad to welcome you to the paleontology episode of our show.
Rawr. As we give everybody a chance to get settled in, if you're watching on Facebook, please take a moment to share the link to your timeline so that all your friends know what they should be doing right now.
Yeah, and let's look. Oh, yeah, we see Paula and Peter and Justin and Sarah and Melissa and Matt. Hey, everybody.
So many faces that we love to see every Friday night. Yay.
Excellent.
So if you are new to the Quarantine live stream, or even if you're a regular viewer, we want to let you know that this is a donation-based concert.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that if you are in a position to support the show financially, there are various ways to do that. We have a Venmo, we have Cash App, we have PayPal. You can buy a virtual ticket on our website, or you can go to Bandcamp and get some merch or some music for your t-shirt or record collection.
Oh,
hey!
Sorry.
All right, so if you're new here, oh wait, I'm the wrong dinosaur. Rawr, rawr. If you're new here, let us know in the chat, because we would love to know if this is your first Quarantine live stream. And also, we would love it if everybody would tell us where you're tuning in from.
That's right. What period are you turning in from?
Rawr, rawr, Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
It's Charming Disaster.
Welcome.
Actually, yes, welcome. That was alarming, but don't worry. We're fine.
We're fine. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, we have an exciting show in store for you tonight. As you can tell, we've been working hard on the production value.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we've got some
diorama going on. Dinorama?
Dinorama. Yeah. All right. Oh, we've got some, let's see. Oh, Anthropocenic in the house. Yeah.
Nice.
We've got Boston. Yeah, there's a lot of people we know. And oh, yeah, Rochester coming from the Cretaceous period.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
That's great. Well,
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
I'm just glad we got
play
through
dinosaurs. Yeah.
I'm glad we got through the first part of the show, because that was definitely the part we prepared for
the most.
Yep. So let's kick things off with a card divination.
Oh yeah.
Like we like to do.
Here, let me pick it up.
Please.
We have chosen the Death card.
Ooh,
the
spooky.
Original paleontologist.
What deck is that anyway?
This is from the Marseille deck. See if you can see it, maybe.
Yeah, you got to get just the right angle.
Yeah.
Well, so this particular depiction of death, really, he looks like he's like digging in the dirt.
Yeah.
He's digging in the ground, perhaps hunting for fossils.
That's right. Or creating future fossils.
Yep. He could be, or she, or they could also be looking for pretty rocks. There is lots of cool stuff in the dirt. If you take away nothing from this show but that, we have done our work tonight. Lots of cool stuff in the dirt.
Yeah, we found most of the stuff in this place somewhere near the dirt.
In the dirt, yeah. So I just remembered that my ukulele is over there in its case still, and I haven't taken it out or tuned it or anything.
It's a surprise. Don't just wait. Just wait. Okay, go. Get it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I am. So we have a great show. We've planned lots of things, as you can tell. This show is like a well-oiled machine. As you can see, we have some dinosaurs out there. You know, it's very scary to be in this room with all those crazy dinosaurs going on. And here's my favorite dinosaur of all.
I'm not a dinosaur. You know, I thought about making some paleontologist musician sort of witticisms, like, you know, like they study the fossil record and we make records.
Yeah.
And then I thought it would be better not to.
Yeah, I'm glad you chose the right way. You chose the right path.
Can I borrow your tuner?
Sure. Where's my guitar?
It's over there. It's on the stand.
You mean ready to go?
Yeah, like tuned and ready to go.
Tuned
All right,
and
I'm
ready to
close
go.
behind you. How's everybody doing tonight? How's your period, whatever whatever one you're in?
You know, it's all relative in geological time. This is like not even a blink of the eye. I'm gonna change this to this thing.
Oh yeah, change that thing. Now you might notice, now that we've changed the audio for optimal music making, you may notice that you hear some people yelling. It's
okay.
Nothing to be concerned about. There's some like bros upstairs having some sort of, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, having like a bro party. Okay.
Thank you, Katie. All right, so let's sing a song about rocks.
Let's do it. Which one? Oh yeah. How does that go? Oh yeah. Ready?
No, how does that go?
Okay.
What's the first chord though?
D.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, no, I'm totally on top of this. Yeah. Remember before, and I was like, oh, we don't need to practice this one. All right.
Yeah. Ready? Beneath the gently swaying pines, inside a deep dark hole, if you dare to take what's mine, I will eat your soul. Put this mountain in your spoon. Feel the hot embrace. All the fairy tales are true. It'll turn your bones to the finest lace. Bad luck, hard rock. No matter how you slice it or break it apart. Live once, die twice. Find a little magic, but it won't play nice.
Take your shovel and your pick.
No need to ask why.
Got another grave today.
Under a silver moon and a cobalt sky. Bad luck, hard rock. No matter how you slice it or break it apart. Live once, die twice. Find a little magic, but it won't play nice. With this treasure comes a curse, folded in the ore.
You could say it could be worse.
I'll give you more than what you bargained for. Bad luck, hard rock. No matter how you slice it or break it apart. Live once, die twice. Send you up my daughter, but she won't play nice. Bad luck, hard rock. No matter how you slice it or break it apart. Send you up my daughter, but she won't play nice.
Send you up my daughter, but she won't play nice.
Send you up my daughter, but she won't play nice. Oh, thank you, Carol. This is my hairpiece. This is just my normal
It's
hairpiece.
just his natural hair, but that is very nice of you to compliment him, Carol. So that wasn't technically a song about excavating dinosaur fossils, but it was a song about mining for what turned out to be radioactive ore in the Carpathian Mountains in the 15th century. So
Everyone knows dinosaurs buried radioactive ore in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just because they were kind of jerks.
Yeah, they got their comeuppance.
Okay, we have a joke I feel like we need to share with the people on the other platforms. Why were the paleontologists kissing?
Why were the paleontologists kissing?
Because they were carbon dating.
Oh,
That's so adorable. Adorable paleontologist jokes. We thought we had thought of all the things to put into the show, but thank you, Misty, for contributing that.
That's good.
Important question. What are we drinking tonight?
Oh, that's a very good question.
I ask you this question, but I also ask you.
Well, as you can see
question.
here, back here we have, you may remember from last time, we had our own homemade limoncello.
The great limoncello experiment. A success. We still do not have scurvy.
So, we've created this, our cocktail called the Dinosaur.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
Lee Hall. Now, we're going to tell you more about our guests, but I think the first thing you ought to know about our guests is that they named this cocktail. So you know that they are serious paleontologists.
Yes. So, in our Dinosaur, we have limoncello and gin. This is lovely gin. So cheers.
Cheers.
What are you all drinking?
Remember when I was like, this brontosaurus stays on the glass really well? And then you...
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, it's too late now. I've got black lipstick all over this thing now. Yeah. It's fine.
Here, I'll fix that.
Fun fact, this dinosaur skeleton glows in the dark. Just like real dinosaur skeletons.
Just like any skeleton.
Yeah, it's true.
Everyone knows that.
It's true. It's hard to see them glow when it, got all that flesh all around it. But, yeah. So speaking of fossils, we have been doing some excavation around the studio. And we have found some exciting mineral specimens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to see our mineral specimens?
Can I show the first one?
Yeah.
What is it? Looks light? Ulexite.
I forget. We had to open in a tab, but I closed it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's our TV stone.
The TV mineral. Yeah.
It's so cool. It makes everything look like
it's on TV.
Two-dimensional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ulexite.
Yeah.
Ulexite. And
All right.
yes, show.
I've got this really pretty amethyst.
Gorgeous.
Which I just found it. I just dug it up. It was in the corner.
Amazing.
You can tell because it's perfectly squared off. It's just in the corner.
Because it was in the corner. We have this rosy quartz.
That's a rosé quartz.
Rosé, please.
Yeah.
It's from
Now
France.
and also now that the weather's getting warmer, you want to think about a rosé quartz.
Lovely. Looks like a frosé quartz.
So refreshing.
And what else? Where do we find this one?
That's a geode. I don't know if they can see how sparkly it is.
No, it's this camera.
Camera.
Let's play with it a little bit.
All right.
Sure,
well,
we're just doing it live.
No, that's a terrible idea. Okay. Anyway, we bought this. It actually, we were pretty sure it was going to turn out to be a dinosaur egg because it was just like a, like a spherical. Yeah, it looked a lot like that dinosaur egg. And then we smashed it open with a hammer, and inside it was all sparkly bits. So that's what happens when you buy a geode by the side of the road. Sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah. Speaking of the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Pull that one up.
Yeah, so this is a very special rock. This is called a lightning stone, and we purchased this from a guy who had this roadside attraction sort of mineral emporium on the border of Nevada when we were driving from Idaho into Nevada to get to California. It's a long story. Anyway, he told us that this lightning stone, it's created when lightning strikes the sand in the desert, and the lightning fuses the sand and creates these hollow tubes. The hollow part is where the electric tentacle of the lightning was, and you can kind of see it has a hole going through it. And he actually gifted us this because we had spent like $30 on rocks, and he gave us this one and said, keep it in your car, it will protect you because lightning never strikes in the same place
Of course.
twice, which is not true, of course,
But it's been true for us so far.
Yeah, we have not, the car did not get hit by lightning.
Nope.
At all, and we have had it here in the studio for a few days, and we haven't gotten struck here either. Yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Fossilized lightning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have a tiger's eye.
Not a real tiger's eye.
No, because they would be.
Not actually
angry
the
about
eye of a tiger, but a rock called a tiger's eye. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a gem.
And we also, when we were rummaging around, we of course found our coyote skull. So yeah, just some fun things. I
think it's pretty. It's not ancient. It's not like a Jurassic.
It might be. It's got logs. It could be like a
mouse.
Saber-tooth coyote.
Saber-tooth mouse.
Yeah,
that's what mice were like.
You know, I mean, I'm not like a paleontologist, but I have like an instinct for these things.
You do.
Yeah.
You're so good.
I would love to know if you all have any pretty rocks at home.
Yeah.
You have.
What have you found in your domicile?
And we're not asking this because we're planning to break into your house and steal your pretty rocks. But
it's a good idea, though.
It is a good idea.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah. So the coyote skull, it actually makes me think about that trip that we took when we drove through
that time.
Well,
we got the lightning skull, lightning stone.
Well, it makes me think of that road trip because the first thing we had to do was drive to Idaho.
And you know what that means?
It means we're going to sing our song called Driving to Idaho.
It's time for a song. The song's in A minor, in case you want to dance.
Shovel in the backseat, secrets in the front. Try to keep your shit together, don't open up the trunk. Fly under the radar, keep your profile low. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho.
Something might have happened you don't talk about.
Make sure that the taillight isn't burned out. Better watch out, better take it slow. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Listen for the siren, watch for flashing lights. Stick to the speed limit, travel day and night. What doesn't hurt you is what you don't know. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Did you need to go too far? Did you do what you had to do? Make a wish on a shooting star and hope it's not aiming at you.
Shouting at the windshield, rain is coming down.
Just another day till the money runs out.
Take a deep breath, it's all under control.
Driving to Idaho.
Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho. Driving to Idaho.
far, both of the songs we played have had shovels in them.
Mm-hmm.
So take that as you like. We have other songs with shovels in them that we're not playing. It occurs to me.
I mean,
So,
we're not a shovel-only band.
yeah, I mean, but maybe someday we'll do an all shovel show.
All shovel show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brought to you by Caterpillar.
I'm going to turn off the echo cancellation now because we are about to introduce this week's special guests. Idaho. This is the segue part. Idaho.
Okay. Yeah.
Very close to Montana.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know what's in Montana?
What's in Montana?
Bozeman, Montana. And you know what's in Bozeman, Montana?
Tell me.
The Museum of the Rockies. And you know what's in the Museum of the Rockies?
Rocks.
And?
Dinosaurs.
And?
Paleontologists.
Yes. And specifically, 2 paleontologists who we met in Cleveland a few years back. They have since moved out west to ply their trade in paleontology, and we're gonna bring them on in just a moment. But we want to tell you about them. Lee Hall is a paleontology field professional at the Museum of the Rockies. His professional interests include taphonomy and stratigraphy, and improving the standards and practices of paleontology lab and field methods. His research background includes late Jurassic dinosaurs of Ethiopia, bite marks, and intraspecific aggression in the late Devonian giant arthrodeer Dunkleosteus.
Whoa,
well
done.
And, thank you, and the function and evolution of sauropod claws. Rawr.
Paleontologist, naturalist, and museum director Ashley Hall is the educator. Sorry. Thank you. I got to start all over again.
Yeah, start all over again. She deserves it.
Yes, paleontologist, naturalist, and museum educator Ashley Hall is the outreach program manager at the Museum of the Rockies. Her scientific research has focused on sauropod claw morphology and function, and the evolution of birds from deposits at the La Brea tar pits.
Please welcome our guests, Lee Hall and Ashley Hall. We summon you!
Oh my goodness!
Thank you for that marvelous introduction.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Oh, you look tasty.
Oh no!
Wow.
Hello.
We couldn't compete with the wonderful background.
Oh, that old thing.
Well, that scene that we just got to glimpse is exactly how I've always imagined your home life must be like.
It is very, very true.
Yeah, it's how most paleontology research happens, pretty sure.
Also, we want to thank you so much for having us on. You are our favorite group of musicians.
Thank you so much.
And we are so thankful that we met in Cleveland and that we could enjoy our friendship across the states.
Yep.
So thank you guys very much.
And I didn't know you guys could play instruments. That was such a surprise to see.
We just learned. Yeah.
You should start a band.
We're thinking about it. But we have this talk show that's going pretty well. So
Okay.
So in case you didn't mention, we are married. We are 2 professionals in paleontology that are married.
We did some carbon dating.
We did carbon dating, and yes.
And all paleontologists know you never take a nice joke for granted.
No.
Of course you don't.
So what are you drinking tonight?
We have our paleontology mules. There's a faded Marianne here, but we've got some ginger beer and a little vodka and some orange bitters.
Yes.
And just enough ice to
Cheers.
cool it off. So,
cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Paleontology mules.
Gingersaurus.
Gingersaurus. Yeah, so if you're a paleontologist, can you just add saurus onto pretty much anything you want?
Isn't that what you do?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I mean, typically saurus meant reptile, so we've kind of come a ways from that. There's all sorts of other endings now. So
yeah. Any favorites?
Well, my favorite dinosaur.
Microraptor, Parasaurolophus. That's not a saurus.
That's cool.
Best hadrosaur ever. In fact, it's so nice. I got it.
They named it twice. Whoa.
On my arm.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Lee, do you have any dinosaur tattoos?
No, I don't. I have a Charles Darwin tree of evolution on my shoulder, but
That's
I have yet to
good.
take the plunge.
You've got to. You've got to get Styracosaurus.
I did notice that we have some folks from the Cleveland Museum of Natural History watching.
Yeah,
I saw
so
that.
cool.
I was looking at that on the comments. Hello, Cleveland. We miss you.
Cleveland rocks. Yeah, we love
Cleveland in the
Cleveland.
house.
That was a wonderful town to live. So, yeah, go Cleveland.
Go Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I understand that you have prepared some kind of presentation for us and that you are willing to entertain questions at the end of it.
Oh, yes.
And then some. We will give you our social media handles, and you can find us online as well.
Yep.
Oh, Henderson Dan has already shared all your social media handles in the chat, but we'll do it again when you're done in case people are like, oh, I'm not interested now, but then after they see your presentation, they're like, oh
that's
no,
right.
I need to follow these people on Instagram. So rest assured, we will, all of you watching, you want to follow their social media because they're very entertaining. Oh,
That's very funny.
And there's no such thing as a dumb question. I just want to put that out there as well.
Noted. Thank you.
No.
All right. Well, should we pop your presentation on and let you take it away?
All right.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Ooh.
Dead Dinosaurs with Ashley and Lee Hall. We loved your background, by the way. I think it's so great.
Thank you.
Next slide.
All right, so this is the Museum of the Rockies in Bozeman, Montana, where we are. And outside of our museum, you will see Big Mike, which is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, of course, big old bronze statue. Fun fact, Big Mike is actually now at the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History because it was such a good tyrannosaur that they decided that they needed it there for all of America and the world pretty much to see.
So it's on loan for 50 years, the actual fossil is, and you can see it decapitating a Triceratops on display.
It's a really cool display.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
Next slide, please. So this is the Hall of Horns and Teeth in the Siebel Dinosaur Complex at Museum of the Rockies. And here you can see Montana's T-Rex facing off against a specimen called Yoshi's Trike, a Triceratops that is flanked by its little... It's a baby. There's a little baby Triceratops.
And
there
you
too.
helped dig that one up. That was
I did.
That was what you helped dig up. It's a really cool one.
We dug that up in 2011. We finished that one.
And if you're wondering why the colors, so the colors indicate what parts have been discovered. Because when things die, they don't always end up perfectly in the ground. They end up eaten and decayed and all sorts of,
Well, we know.
That's what taphonomy is, right? So
broken.
it's the study of things after they die. So if you look at the T-Rex, you can see the white parts are reconstructed, and same with Triceratops as well.
Cool.
We are really fortunate at Museum of the Rockies to have 2 different dinosaur growth series, including the only growth series of Tyrannosaurus Rex in the world. And you can barely even see it, but way on the left side of your screen, and I actually have a copy of the skull here, is Jumper, one of the smallest baby Tyrannosaurus Rex skulls ever found.
So small.
So to give you an idea of how big this is compared to an adult Tyrannosaurus Rex, I have a tooth. So Ashley, you'll hold Jumper.
Yep.
This is a full-size tooth from an adult T-Rex right here. So you're looking at essentially the skull of Chomper is about the size or length of an adult T-Rex tooth, which is really crazy. They grew big and fast. So there you can go left to right. You can see T-Rex grow up on display. Next slide, please.
This, in case you're wondering, is, as you probably guessed already, Triceratops. But it's not just Triceratops. It's actually the largest skull of any land animal that has ever lived, which is so cool, right?
From beak to the back of the frill is 9 feet long.
It's on display, so we couldn't get next to it. Usually we like to use ourselves as scale bars and sit next to things, but it's massive. It's about the size of like a Volkswagen car.
No.
Wow. How old would Chomper be, by the way? We had a question we're gonna sneak in.
So it's difficult to know because we'll talk about how we figure out dinosaur ages in a minute.
Stay tuned.
Chomper wouldn't have probably been more than
a couple years
tops. Yeah.
A little baby. All right, so at the Hall of Horns and Teeth, we not only have Tyrannosaurus growth, but also Triceratops. So we've got the big skull that we just showed you, but then that little tiny little baby skull right on the left of your screen, and then you can follow it all the way up as they grow throughout life. So the Museum of the Rockies has been collecting fossils for a very long time, and with all of that time and all of that searching, have amassed a collection that can tell us about growth and behavior. So we don't just have big adult Triceratops, we have every single age of Triceratops as well. And then, every single year we're trying to fill in the gaps with finding more Triceratops to kind of round it out.
Cool.
We also have
adorable babies.
Baby dinosaurs.
So small.
So that is a model of a baby duck-billed dinosaur called Maiasaura hatching out of an egg.
It's our state dinosaur of Montana, in case you're wondering.
And although dinosaur eggs were first discovered in Mongolia and Asia back in the early 20th century, there weren't any dinosaur eggs known from the Western Hemisphere, North or South America, until the late 1970s, when a local Montana ranch family came across baby dinosaur bones, and then scientists with the Museum of the Rockies went out and excavated the very first known dinosaur eggs from this part of the world ever. And they had babies in them, and it really opened the window into how good dinosaurs were caring for their young. And the name Maiasaura means good mother lizard.
And fun fact today, I didn't tell you today, but I had a school group that there was one girl in the class, because I said, does anyone know their state dinosaur? And she said, Maya, that's my name. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Was she a dinosaur? The girl?
She was a human.
Okay. No, that's fine too.
All right, next slide.
This is a really, really cool dinosaur that many people may not know about. Its name is Oryctodromeus cubicularis.
So not a saurus.
It's a burrowing dinosaur. You can see it coming out of the burrow behind it. So this dinosaur's bones were found inside a burrow deposit.
Much like a gopher.
Yeah, or a rabbit. It was there was an adult and two babies. And this actually, speaking of Idaho, this dinosaur was discovered in Idaho, and it was first described back in 2007 or 8. Mm-hmm. So it's still a fairly new dinosaur, but this is probably Idaho's most famous dinosaur.
Burrowing.
It means digging runner of the lair, I think is what the name means.
You all have some great names. Digging runner of the lair and the Hall of Horns and Teeth. I'm already like, what can I call the Hall of Horns and Teeth in my house?
Which isn't.
Yeah.
What isn't the
not
Hall
a lot
of
of
Horns and
rooms
Teeth in your house?
Oh, so we had to put some macabre specimens in here for you. So on the picture on the right, you can see there's a red arrow highlighting something. Now, this is a skull of an animal called Edmontosaurus. There's a saurus name in there. And this is a duck-billed dinosaur or hadrosaur, which was kind of like akin to like the cows of the Cretaceous or big plant-eating dinosaurs. And so they moved in herds, and they moved in herds.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, they do move in herds. And so these guys were hanging out, eating plants, and then battling tyrannosaurs from time to time, and they were food for tyrannosaurs as well. So you can see on the right, that is a tooth from a Tyrannosaurus Rex stuck in the nose. You can see in the one picture, you can barely see there's like a red arrow, but it's right here in the nose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that dinosaur got bit in the face, and I don't think lived to tell much longer about that. If anything, it probably died of an infection because it wasn't healed over.
So if anyone listening, you take your finger and put it on the bridge of your nose, and then just imagine taking a hammer and punching a nail right in there. That's what that duckbill had to go through. Ow!
And so if you get bit on the nose by a T-Rex, you should probably apply some sort of antibacterial ointment.
Yeah. Maybe an analgesic cream or a Band-Aid.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Pro tip. Okay.
Similarly, Triceratops, as seen on the right, being chomped on by a giant adult T-Rex, have been and are found regularly with bite marks in them. And so you are looking at the butt end of a triceratops. They got bit and torn apart.
Those are the hips. And when you're at the Museum of the Rockies, if you come visit, you can see all the punctures. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
A T-Rex could bite through a bone like you bite through a cracker.
Just crunched right through it.
Wow.
So those hips don't lie. So speaking of, as paleontologists and educators, we are often faced with the question, well, dinosaur bones, they're just rocks, right? Wrong. At the Museum of the Rockies, we have a world-class lab where we actually do lots of really cool science. And one of those cool things is slicing bones open to look at the insides.
Ooh.
So the bone on the left is a femur or a thigh bone from T-Rex. And on the right is actually the cross section. So imagine you have a bone like this, and you slice it in half, and you're looking at the inside portion there of the bone. And then if you look really closely, those black arrows represent lines of arrested growth or lags. And those are actually how we tell how old dinosaurs are when they died.
You can count them like tree rings.
Wow.
Yep. So when we look at a dinosaur and we wonder, I wonder how old that dinosaur was when it died. Hopefully that specimen has a limb or some sort of long bone, because they are best recorded in those bones. And we cut them open very carefully in our lab, and then we analyze them for those lines.
So, to sum things up, this slide, why is there a bird-looking thing at the end? Well, we've been saying it for years. Birds are dinosaurs. So birds are a particular group of dinosaurs that had evolved feathers and then developed the ability to fly. And they also survived the extinction that killed out all the other big dinosaurs, the T-Rex, Triceratops, duckbills, all of them.
66 million years ago, an asteroid 6 miles across hit the Yucatan Peninsula down by the Gulf of Mexico, blasted a big old hole down there, caused basically nuclear winter, blocked the sun. So everything you kind of know as a kid is still very much true. Except we're learning now that birds were one of the main survivors of this extinction, as well as things like turtles and crocodiles and mammals. Of course, we wouldn't be here without them. And birds, when you look outside your window, something like a robin or a gull or even a starling, these things we take for granted are actually dinosaurs, which is so amazing.
So dinosaurs never went extinct. Now, why did birds survive and other groups of dinosaurs go extinct? What could have birds have survived on? Well, it's possible that it's birds with beaks at the time that were able to use seeds as a food resource, that were able to get through that very rough and tumultuous period on planet Earth.
So don't take for granted those little birds eating on your bird feeder.
Or chickens or anything. And if you think about it, birds have infiltrated every part of our culture. It's a huge conspiracy by the dinosaur elite, because they are our food. Kentucky Fried Chicken. They are
our flag.
National symbol, the eagle, in Mexico as well. Birds are everywhere. They're even doves, peace signs, religious symbols.
Everything.
It is a conspiracy. We have a viewer who points out that if you have chickens, it's obvious that dinosaurs are chickens, or the other way around.
Thank you.
Chickens seem like very meek things until you see them hunt and kill insects or mice or something like that, and then they're terrifying.
Yeah, if you had a chicken that was 12 feet tall, it would be a whole different feeling. Everyone, all this feathers make dinosaurs not scary. It's like, okay, yeah, well, look at all the videos of people running away from a goose or a turkey. And you give it teeth and killer claws, and then we'll see what people have to say.
So we do have a question for viewers, and we have a giveaway because Lee and I have written 2 books now. So I have Fossils for Kids, and we worked on Gems for Kids together. There we are. And so we are going to give a very lucky viewer 2 copies and some beautiful
signed, personalized copies.
Personalized, signed.
Ooh.
And some beautiful mineral specimens. So I have some quartz and some lapis lazuli. and some tiger's eye. Speaking of tiger's eye,
You want to learn about tiger's eye? You want to learn about gems and minerals? Well, look no
Who
further.
doesn't?
You can read as much. You can read a page. You can read the whole book.
beautiful tiger's eye of your own if you answer this question. Okay, ready for the question,
Drum
viewers?
roll.
All right.
We're ready. And the first correct
Question.
answer, I'm just gonna for ground rules purposes. So the first correct answer we see from any platform that you're watching on will be the lucky winner.
What was Tyrannosaurus Rex's middle name?
No. Carl. It was Carl.
Oh, you win.
No. Okay, the question is, what was the first dinosaur in space? Question. What was the first dinosaur sent to space?
Yes, by people.
Not blasted by an asteroid.
Yes.
And not a bird.
All right. Let's see. All right,
Awesome.
well, so far we have also there's like a 20-second lag between what happens for us in here and what happens out there. So we're gonna give them a moment to think of some answers.
Albert.
Albert. There's an Albertosaurus.
There is a dinosaur named for
Tyrannosaurus
Albert.
Albert Rex. I like
Two
that.
people have guessed Barney.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody is Googling it.
Everyone is Googling it.
Oh,
What
this
was
is
the
an honor
first
system.
dinosaur sent to
All right, wait.
space?
Sarah guesses a trilobite.
Trilobite. Popular fossil, not
Very
a dinosaur.
Oh, Sam.
They are extinct though.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
We'll give you a hint. It's at our museum.
It might be at our museum.
We may have mentioned it during this
We
broadcast.
may have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about a hint?
Let's see.
We said it meant. Should I say it?
No.
Is that too easy?
Oh,
Oh!
yeah. I think I see. I think
We see one.
Yeah, we see one there.
Is this Maiasaura peblesorum?
Ding, ding, ding,
Yes,
ding,
it
ding.
Dale?
Congratulations.
Dale, you are the lucky winner. So you
Oh,
should.
nice.
So Dale should send us a message on Facebook, and we'll get Dale's address, and we will convey Dale's address to you. Dale, you can also email secretary@charmingdisaster.com to convey your address to us.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody else who wasn't as quick on the draw with that answer, you can still obtain these books. Am I correct? They're available not just from you personally, but from all sorts of book purveyors and sellers. We just shared a couple links in the comments for Bookshop, which is a way to support independent bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
you can feel free to email us for copies as well if
Yeah.
you would like them personalized.
we sell signed personalized copies with gem and mineral kits. So
That's even cooler.
very cool. So I did notice a lot of questions were coming through during the presentation that I didn't want to interrupt the presentation for. So I'm going to scroll back a little bit in the comments and share some questions with you.
I saw one about Maiasaura, how long it stayed on the nest.
Oh yeah, that is an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head, I feel like it's definitely less than a year, but I can't remember it exactly. It was, the babies weren't able to stand up like geese.
Yeah, so we
Geese or
know
ducks.
from fossils and from looking at the bones of the babies, because we have babies in the eggs and babies in the nests, that it would have taken several weeks for them to get to the point where they could
Have their bones solidify
they
more.
could wander around. So they were
Yeah.
cared for by their parents.
She brought them food and took care of them.
I don't know. This is kind of arm waving, but 6 to 8 weeks seems to sound right. But we'd have to look it up for a better answer. But
and it's hard to get that kind of calibration as well with fossils. So we can't be like June 3rd is when they stood up and walked away.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But they had to grow up quick.
Less than a year. Yeah.
Why do the Triceratops have holes in their frills? This sounds like the setup for a joke, but I think it's a good question.
That's a great question. Do you want to take that?
Just for the frill of it.
Oh God.
So actually most horned dinosaurs had big openings in their frill, and those openings are called fenestra, which is Latin for window.
Holes.
No.
Horrible.
And basically you can look at it in a couple of different ways. One, evolution does weird stuff, but two, when you are, you're growing big headgear like that, it's a balance between trying to make it big and showy, but also not too heavy. So the openings allowed them to make these big window frame like frills that they could put lots of colors on and show off to each other with, but they could also reduce the weight cost as well. And the horned dinosaurs actually have skulls that are really well balanced. So they're very big heads, but the skull connects to the neck with a ball and socket.
Yeah.
So
like right back here.
If you look at here, for instance, if you look at a Triceratops skull, behind the frill right in here is the ball that connects to the neck. And if you'll notice, the big frill is on the back half and the horns and the nose are all in the front half. So their skulls actually were really well balanced, even though they were big. So holes definitely are an adaptation to help save on mass and weight.
Wow.
Excellent.
That also means they weren't really good shields.
And
they were full of blood. So if they were bitten, it'd be a big mess.
Full of blood. Dinosaur skulls. Do we know the average lifespans of most dinos?
Oh, when we talk about dinosaurs, that's a huge group. So we're talking 180 million years. So when you think about something like a T-Rex, which most people have questions about, Sue the T-Rex at the Field Museum in Chicago is the oldest known Tyrannosaurus. So she's about 27 years old when she died, 28 years old maybe. And so that was pretty old for a dinosaur. That's a pretty old age for animals today as well, unless you're a tortoise, of course, or like a Greenland shark that can live for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But most large animals, they undergo some really hard things in life. They have predators, they have diseases. Sue the T-Rex died of a disease that affected her bone structure, and she's got holes, these gnarly holes in her jaw. And so if you got to live to a pretty good age past your teenage life, and you were able to reproduce, right, that was a really good thing. So any animal today that gets to that age and gets past it is a pretty good sign of health.
Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, if a dinosaur was teenager, it was middle age. If it was in its 20s, that was really good. And if you're pushing 30, then you're up there. That's getting old.
Yeah, but fun fact, opossums that live here that we love and eat trash in our backyards only live for about 3 years. They're very, very short-lived animals. So be nice to opossums, because even though they're not dinosaurs, they're like, right when they're little babies, they're like teenagers already. So yeah.
Wow.
That's why they
animals are wild.
I like that the ultimate takeaway of this talk is be nice to opossums, because their lives are so fleeting and precious.
Anything.
Yeah.
They're very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
That
and they eat ticks. They eat ticks.
And they eat ticks. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Sierra's getting a possum tattoo on Wednesday. So
right on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You share it with Framing Disasters.
Oh my
so they can
God.
show us.
Great.
Two paint wash styles. That's dark, but I get it. The rating.
All right. So we have time for one more question, and it comes from my mom, who is rarely in the comments, although my parents watch very faithfully.
Hello.
Wow.
My mom wants to know, have dinosaurs only been found in the western states of the United States?
No. In fact, the first dinosaur fossil named from the United States came from Haddonfield, New Jersey, from a marl pit, from a mud pit. So there are dinosaurs known from the eastern part of the country, east of Appalachia.
Alabama.
And yeah, however, it's just a fluke of geology. Dinosaurs lived all over the world. They were everywhere all the time for almost 200 million years. But it's just because of the geologic history of our continent that the rocks that we find more of the skeletons in today are exposed in the western states.
There's lots more rock. It's not covered by farmland or dirt, and it hasn't been glaciated, and so it just depends.
The rocks out east are much, much older too. So in many cases, rocks that would have had dinosaurs in them out east have long since eroded away.
Yeah.
So
geology is not kind.
Sedimentation is neither constant nor continuous. That was drilled into my head in college.
Okay, please cut us off.
Thank you, Lee and Ashley, so much. It has been a delight having you on the show. You're welcome back anytime.
Anytime.
And anybody who is watching this, I'm sure has enjoyed this as much as we have. And please go follow them on all their channels, buy their books, do all the things. And when you make it out to Montana, when we make it out to Montana, we will make a point of getting a personal tour of the Rockies.
Yes, please.
Show you all the dead things. We promise.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. All right.
Thank you.
Hearts.
Charming master for life.
Yay. Lead Ashley. Oh, woo. All right. We banish you back into the ether from whence you came.
Whoa.
And they're gone.
Just like that.
Oh, that was so great. I
learned so much.
And it's nice to not stop being excited about dinosaurs. Speaking of, we did write a little song just for this occasion, and we'd like to share it with you. We'd like to share it with Ashley and Lee in particular, but it's for everybody, really.
Mm-hmm. Where is
it's below. It's below. No, there it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dinosaur.
Thunder lizard, so much more.
Hey, look at that meteor. Dinosaur. And there's another verse, too.
Trilobite.
Take a taste to be polite.
If you don't like it, that's all right. Trilobite. But we learned that trilobites are not dinosaurs.
Not dinosaurs.
Scratch
not relevant. Yeah. We'll just
back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell, we are not just artists, but scientists as well.
In our own right.
In our way.
Mm-hmm.
And this next song will kind of demonstrate that.
I think so. Yeah. Well, let's check on the audio thing.
Oh, yeah. We'll check on the audio thing, like it said in the thing that we were supposed to do. Okay, I've unchecked that box. I've checked this box, and now it's going to sound super sweet.
So good.
So good. All right.
Oh, this is good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here are some amazing things.
About manta rays.
They resemble magical flying carpets.
Or mysterious capes.
Some call them devilfish.
Or eagle rays.
Is that another name for them, or just one kind?
We're not sure. They're migratory.
Over the ocean.
What do they eat?
Zooplankton.
They exhibit a dark intelligence.
They're saltwater dwelling.
They can grow up to 7 meters wide.
That's 23 feet.
Manta rays.
We don't know why they do the things they do.
But one day,
I would like to ride one.
I would like to ride one too.
I would like to ride one too.
I would like to ride one too.
Are they electrical?
No.
Do they have eye stalks or antennae?
Not eye stalks, but cephalic lobes.
Are their mouths on bottom like a vacuum?
No.
Do they sleep?
We're not sure. Manta rays. We don't know why they do the things they do. But one day,
I would like to ride one.
I would like to ride one too.
I would like to ride one too.
I would like to ride one too.
They have a vestigial sting barb.
They cannot swim backwards.
They are cousins to sharks and skates.
They're kind of hard to talk to.
2 words.
Live pups.
Are they immortal?
We're not sure. Manta rays. We don't know why they do the things they do. But one day,
I would like to ride one.
I would like to ride one too.
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 I would like to ride one too. True story.
Yeah, I think we all feel the same way about manta rays around here.
I think so. It's a safe space for manta rays.
Yeah, and for scientific inquiry, we think of ourselves as naturalists. Bad naturalists,
Naturally.
but naturalists all the same.
Supernaturalists.
Supernaturalists.
Here.
Oh, yes. Cheers to all of you supernaturalists. Now, we have received some queries, or should I say, Professor Bellows has received some queries. And we're gonna let Professor Bellows respond to these queries.
Let's pull up. Oh, Professor.
Professor,
Where is our professor?
here's our professor. All right, Professor.
Okay. Dear Professor Bellows, I am writing to you because I've discovered something very disturbing about some of our mutual friends, and only you can be of assistance. I was doing some research, and someone moved the thing. I was doing some research and came across these images. What does it mean? Should we be afraid? Sincerely Vexed in Virginia.
Dear Vexed, as we all know, art history is a dangerous game. It might be better if you immediately forget what you have seen. But in any case, these are probably Elliot and Jeff's ancestors, and almost certainly not themselves 400 years ago. What dark bargains have they made? And what surgical stitches were those collars preventing them from gnawing at? Yes, best to forget. Yours, Professor Bellows. Dear Professor Bellows, as a musician, have you noticed that when you are practicing a new piece slowly, it always ends sounding disturbingly like the soundtrack to a horror film? Can you suggest anything to help that? Disturbed in Cleveland.
Dear Disturbed, I too have noticed this phenomenon. Relax. There is no need for alarm. It simply means you are probably in a horror film, and you are about to discover something deeply disturbing. Whatever you do, don't go down to the basement. Your friend, Professor Bellows. Sage advice.
Thank you, Professor. That was most illuminating. Yes. I think we all learned a little something from that segment.
I definitely often feel like I'm in a horror film, because I am.
This is a horror film right now. Those voices that we hear, people have been hearing those voices from upstairs for hundreds of years.
There's no third floor.
There's no
floor up there.
They sound angry, exuberant. I'm not really sure.
Horrific.
Can they hear us?
It's very quiet. Oh, there they go.
Oh, no, they're
There
fine.
they go. Okay.
Just some bros, some dead bros drinking some
The
beers.
bros of yesteryear.
Well, it's about time for us to play another song.
Oh, let's play another song.
The time flies.
It sure does.
Now, this song also does not, like the last song, it does not contain any shovels. However, I think it supports our theme of the evening of research.
Research, science,
Inquiry.
I am a librarian. My mind is a cave. I don't understand how people behave. I'm greater than some of my parts that seem broken. I make my own costume. I own my own name. Witch in the wintertime, philosopher king. I'm not staring at you, I'm considering things. A natural scientist singing my song. Where I am going is where I belong. This is my time. This is is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face.
Tongue is a blade with sharp doubled edges to keep you away. A creature of habit, a half-wild animal, hungry to touch you but also afraid. An orbiting satellite, counting the stars, moving in circles out here in the dark. A prisoner of circumstance, lying awake, awaiting the moment I make my escape. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. Did I make a crash landing on an alien planet? Will others find me in time? Sometimes I think I'm the only one of my kind. I am a librarian, my heart is a fist, my fist in the air, the air in my face. Facing my fear is a friend, my friends are beside me, I'm ready for this. Set out the instruments, sought out the signs, it's what I've been studying all of my life. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. This is my time, this is my place, behind the drawn curtain or right in your face. I never feel like I'm the only one of my kind on this show.
That's for sure.
So we are almost at the end of our time together. We have a few announcements before we wrap it up for the evening. I'm just gonna drink a sip of...
Lubricate those pipes.
Let's see, some announcements. Next week, our show is going to be presented by Death Couture, and our guest will be Death Couture founder and artist Meg Morbid, who makes some really cool work, and she's going to talk to us about her process. So that's going to be fun. So come back next week. And we have some other fun upcoming guests over the coming weeks, including comic artist Dame Darcy, chiptune musician Bobby Shields, and the return of Dr. Brandy Schillace, which sounds like a mystery novel. The return
I think it is
of Dr. Brandy Schillace, and other luminaries. So keep on coming back. We're going to be keeping this up at least through mid-June. There will come a time, I guess, when it seems like We don't know what's going to
don't know.
happen. Anyway, we're prepared to keep this going at least through mid-June, and there's lots of other cool people we want to have an excuse to hang out with, so who knows what'll happen.
It could be you.
Also, this is a donation-based concert, so a gentle reminder that if you are able to support what we're doing through a financial contribution to our efforts, that is appreciated and helps us keep on doing what we do.
And if you're not in a position to give, this is our gift to you, and we thank you for just being here.
Yes, huge thank you to all of you tuning in and making this such a fun community to be part of in the comments. And huge thanks to henchperson Dan for henching in the shadows and sharing all those links you see popping up telling you how to follow our guests and find our songs and buy books and all that stuff.
And of course, a big thanks to
Huge thanks.
Ashley and Lee.
Yes.
Hall.
Thank you so much, Ashley and Lee. We're going to just pop you up on screen for a second so they can. Yay! Thank you so much again. Yay.
We love you so much.
We love
We
you.
love you.
Thanks, guys.
And now we just have one final little ritual to attend to before we play you out into the night. And that is, of course, the Unicorn Oracle.
Oh, I
which
thought it
is
was the bloodletting thing.
Oh, we'll do that later. But let me find the Unicorn Oracle.
Oh, yes.
Where is it? It's back here.
Oh, look, a Triceratops. Oh,
Oh.
it's gone.
Ooh. All right.
Oh, it's that time.
I did dream the other night that we received in the mail several decks of cards that seemed to be some kind of oracle decks. So
Really, that was a dream.
Yeah, it was a dream that I had. They were little also. They were like novelty sized. I don't know what it means, but I feel confident that when we run out of unicorn oracle cards, something will take its place.
Something will happen.
Anyway, do you want to pick the card?
Sure.
All right, so just this for those newcomer viewers, this is
1, 2, 3.
this oracle will tell us a little something about what's in store in the coming week.
Ooh. Polarity.
The polarity unicorn.
It's actually 2 unicorns.
Actually, 2 unicorns.
There is a dark, stormy unicorn and a light, pale, also fiery unicorn.
What does it say? What does the inscription read?
No one knows.
I can read it.
Polarity. Something. Undecipherable.
It is very small print. Polarity. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity.
What is that?
What is the
What
law of polarity? I don't know.
There can be no light without dark, perhaps.
Is that the law? Like, is that the
Is it a law?
is the understand the law of polarity like the thing we just said, or is there some other law of polarity we're like supposed to know about?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Anyway,
Unicorns know.
the unicorns know the polarity unicorn. And if you make a merch order this week, you could be the one who receives this card in your package. It's random. I just stick it in one of them. Nobody knows why or how. Yeah. So the unicorn of polarity.
It's kind of like you and me.
Yes. Kind of like you and me. Am I? Which one is which?
You're a bit country. I'm a little rock and roll.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That makes sense.
Or you're rock and roll.
I guess that means we should play our last
You're
song.
the dreamer.
And
And I'm the dream.
you are the wings above my wind.
I knew it was something.
All right, so you're probably wondering how this last song ties in thematically
Yeah,
to
so
all the other
I
stuff
am
we've
too.
done. Well, we've talked about fossils and we've talked about
Oh, yes.
bones and
Things that are left
things
over.
that are left behind.
Behind. Go ahead.
What remains?
What remains? What remains? Wind blows cold over the willows. The sky is bruised and shadow. Put on your boots and overcoat. little sparrow. Bridge swung high over the river. Every step shakes and shivers. Water laughs out in whispers. She'll take anything that you give her. It's okay, wash away every trace, what remains. It's okay, it's not too late to find your way clean again. When your heart is weak and weary, clap your hands, wake the spirit. Leaves float by on the current. Tide won't turn till you turn it. It's okay, wash away every trace, what remains. It's okay, it's not too late to find your way clean again. Cold over the willows. The sky is bruised and shadowed. Put on your boots and overcoat. Don't be afraid, my little sparrow.
Don't be afraid.
Don't forget, sparrows are dinosaurs.
Also dinosaurs. We love you. We'll see you next week, we hope. Be good, be well, be safe, be well.